Hello children, today we will be solving a sum which involves that in case we receive a payment or we give a payment to our creditors in advance. So let us learn in details that how to record the transaction in such cases. First here we have on 1st April received an order for goods for rupees 1,20,000 from G Limited. Now see children, here we do not have any cash transaction here. Okay, so it is simply a order which we have received. So in this case we will have no entry, we will have nothing to record in the journal, because here we have not made an actual sales, we have not received any cash for that, so this involves passing no entry. Now next we have April 3rd, where we have received an order for goods from R Limited for rupees 50,000, and R Limited has already paid us rupees 40,000 in advance through a check. Okay, so this is involving an entry, because recording of entry, because here we have got the check for it. So we will just record the transaction that is happening through the check. That means bank entry will be passed here. Next is on April 5th, placed an order with Y Limited for rupees 1 lakh and paid them rupees 50,000 in advance through check. That means here also we have not received the goods, but in place of that we have simply given an advance payment for it. Okay, next is Y Limited supplied the goods for rupees 1 lakh. On 7th April, Y Limited has given us a goods for rupees 1 lakh, so that will be recorded as a purchase entry. Next, on 1st May, goods costing rupees 50,000 were damaged during the transit, and a claim was made on Railway Authority for the same. Since the goods were destroyed during the transport, so we are claiming a compensation from the Railway Department on this aspect. Okay, so this cannot be termed as a full loss for us, because since we have claimed the amount for it, so we will not be recording it as a loss. Rather, it will be just recorded as a claim for us. Okay. Next is on May 4th, we have received a check of rupees 40,000 from Railways in full settlement of such claims. So finally, Railway has paid us rupees 40,000. So finally, Railway has paid us rupees 40,000, but actually they were supposed to pay us 50,000. So now this 10,000 will be our loss. Okay, so now let us go to the entries. So now if you see here that on the 1st April, since I told you before that here will be no entry passed, because this did not involve any transaction, as there was no exchange of money or goods. Next, on 3rd April, we have a transaction which involved that advance payment which we have received from R Limited, so through check, so bank account debit to R Limited account. Okay, next is April 5th, that means we have placed an order with the Y Limited, and we have paid in advance rupees 50,000 to them. So Y Limited account debit to bank. We will not credit here cash, because it is through check, so we have to do it bank. Okay, bank account has to be credited. Next, on 7th April, since Y Limited has supplied us the good, so this will be recorded as a purchase entry. So purchase account debit to Y Limited, and the value remains 1 lakh. Okay, although we have paid them 50,000 in advance, but since goods worth rupees 1 lakh has come into the business, so we will record it as 1 lakh, right? Next is we had on May 1 that we had a claim from Railway Department, so we had railway claim account debit to purchase account, since goods were destroyed or damaged, so that's why we have to credit it. Okay, next is final entry on May 4th, where we have received a check of rupees 40,000 from the bank, from Railway Department. Then 10,000 will be debited to your PL account as a loss, and finally Railway claim account will be credited with 50,000. So this is all about the entries and their recording of transactions. Thank you, children.